Hi, I'm Sally and this is the tutorial for my gingerbread man charm. It's quite cute, ideal for Christmas. So let's make a start. So taking your loom in a staggered configuration with the arrows pointing towards you, I'm going to take 2 bands, and I'm using a sort of tan colour, sort of a good sort of cookie gingerbread man sort of colour. And I'm just going to place them loosely, just let them hang over this centre top pin. Taking another 2 of the tan colour, I'm going diagonally. Same on the other side. And I'm going down again with 2 bands. I'm going down once on each column. Like so. I'm going to add another one in the centre. I'm going to close this part of the design off with diagonal bands there and here. So this is what you should have so far, sort of a hexagon shape. I'll take another 2 bands, same colour, if I can get hold of them. There we go. And I'm going diagonally from this pin here to this pin here. So from the centre 3rd down to the side 4th pin. It's quite a big stretch. Okay, and same on the other side. Like so. It's quite steep. And then we're going down, still using 2 bands, 3 times on each side. So, same the other side. And we're going down 5 times in the centre. So this is still a double band. This is all the same colour unless you want to do a different colour. If you don't have this tan colour, you could use brown, or you could just do them in sort of Christmassy colours, or gold maybe. This tan colour came in a pack of sort of camouflage coloured bands that I bought. But I thought it was quite good for a gingerbread man, so I'm using it. Okay, I'm just going to close this design off, diagonal bands, and then I'll show you. Okay, so this is what you should have so far. We're going to make the arms and legs now. So, again, 2 bands. We're going to go down twice, 4 times. So we're doing this. So going down 2 times, and we're doing that 4 times. If you prefer to cap as you go, then feel free. So I'll show you. So you're taking a single band, and on the last pin of the chain, you're just stretching it out and you're just wrapping that single band around that pin 3 times. Sort of an average stretchiness of band. If you have bands that aren't so stretchy, then do it twice. If you have bands that are more stretchy, then 4 times is good. So just judge depending on your bands. Okay, and I'm going to do the other side here. The other arm and leg. And I can't get hold of my bands, they keep dropping. Ooh, there we are. Always get there in the end. Okay. So again, I'm going to place a cap band here and here. And here at the bottom. And while we're at it, we can add a cap band on here as well. So it's on the last pin in the centre at the bottom of the design. So just the same as we've been doing. Going to loop up. So pushing the cap band back, just taking those bottom 2 bands and looping forwards. So, oops, a daisy. Same again. And my loom slides all over the table. Just looping forwards. So I was just checking to make sure you can actually see what I'm doing and I haven't got carried away and the loom slid off camera. I think we're okay, I think we're good. It's just difficult to hold it so that I'm not blocking what I'm doing, but so the loom isn't sliding off somewhere. Can't get that band. If you do find it easier to, you can do 1 band at a time. I prefer to try and get both together, but it's entirely up to you. Okay, so now we have 2 arms, 2 legs. We're going to place the legs on these pins just here. So we're just going to place our hook down on the open end, to the end that hasn't got the cap band on it. And we're just going to stretch it out and place it over that pin and just angle them straight. Okay. And the other leg. And just straighten out the cap band. There we go. And then we're going to place the gingerbread man or woman. You could do a lady too if you wish. I'm going to place the arms on. And we're going to place these at the where you've got the really long slanted band. We're placing it where that is. Yes. I think you get the gist of what I mean. You just want them sticking out. Okay, so this is what we have so far. We have our gingerbread man, lady, our gingerbread person with arms and legs. We're going to make the buttons next, because all good gingerbread people have buttons. And I'm going to use brown for these. I'm going to give mine's a gingerbread man. So I'm going to do 2 buttons. So you'll need 2 of your button colour. You could use black if you don't have brown. And 2 of the colour I'm using for the body. I'm taking the single brown band and wrapping it around my hook 3-4 times. Say 3 times, but again it depends on your bands. And we're just placing the body coloured band over the end of your hook. Secure it on your finger and you just slide in this brown band onto your body colours band. You might find it easier to just do sort of one loop of the band at a time, but it's entirely up to you. We'll do the second button in a moment, and we're just going to place this in between the arms, so we're placing it straight across here. I'm just going to centralise that. Okay, so it's just going straight across your loom, straight across here. We're going to do the exact same thing again for the second button, so wrapping it around 3 times, band dependent, and then sliding this band onto single band. And I think I probably make it look quite easy, so I'm sorry. And this band is going to go across here. So where you've got your feet, or your legs I should say, it's just this pin up from there. And again it's going straight across. If you do want more buttons, then that's entirely up to you. But when this is looped, because obviously at the moment it's completely stretched out, it will go smaller. And this is how I've done the buttons on this one. As you can see, they're quite close together. You can add in more buttons if you want, but you'll find that you just end up with sort of a rolled band line down the middle. So if that's the look you want to go for, then go for it. So it's entirely your choice. We're going to make the eyes as well, and we're going to do that in a very similar way. So again, I'm going to use brown for the eyes, so they sort of look like chocolate drops. And a single body coloured band. That's not a very good band. I'm going to find a slightly thicker one. There we go. And I'm just going to wrap these again around my hook 3 times. I'm going to do the second band as well. So I have both bands wrapped around my hook. Taking the single band, I'm going to slide both of these wrap bands onto this tan coloured single band. So there's both of the eyes. Just separate them out so you can see. So that's what you should have. And we're just popping this across the face. And it's going across the top 2 pins on your loom. Like so, and I'm just going to separate them out as well. Okay, like this. And then I'm going to turn this into, do you know, I'm not going to turn it into triangle bands because we'll have a triangle band here, so it won't be necessary. So this is what you should have. The bow around the neck we will make once this is done and removed. So we just need to add on some triangle bands. So just taking a single band, you're just putting it across the 3 pins to make a triangle, like so. And we're just going to work our way up our little person's body. Like so. So you should have 4 triangle bands on the body, and you'll have 1 on the face, just here, like so. Now you're ready to loop. So going down to where we added the cat band down the bottom here, just make sure you can see. You're pushing the cat band back, taking the top 2 bands and looping them onto wherever they've come from. I'm just going to push those down because otherwise it's just going to slide straight off again. Going in again, and you're finding the next 2 bands that are on top. You can do these one at a time if you wish, if that's easier for you. and then, because it can be a bit difficult sometimes just to see which bands are which, and then the last two get looped forward, so you should have that sort of pattern. I'm going to loop all the way up now, so I'm going inside this pin here with the leg on, finding the bottom two bands, looping forwards, and you're just working your way up, going inside all bands, and you're just looping forward the bottom two. And that's a big stretch, but it's fine. I'm just looping up the centre, so just the bottom two, like so, and then back down. Oh. My band's just come off the pin, so I'm just going to put that back on. And just looping that forwards. Looping forwards. Just turn this all the way up, inside the arm, finding those bottom two and pulling them up. Okay, so once you've looped the body, it should look like this. We're going to go ahead and do this hexagon shape now for the head, and you want to go in through this pin here at the base, sort of I guess where his chin is. And there are a lot of bands on this pin, so you may find it easier to do one at a time, and you want to find the top two bands that need to be looped. So I'm just going to try and work out which ones they are. I think it's these ones. So I'm pushing back all of the bands, finding the two that are on top, carefully bringing it round and looping it. As I can see, there's a lot of tension in my bands and it's probably going to snap. So I'm just going to take my hook inside this pin here, and I'm just going to run it around, and it will just help to loosen up the bands like that, and hopefully we won't get any broken bands this time. Next time, I'm not so sure, but this time we should be fine. So again, there's a lot of tension in my bands, so I'm just loosening them, and I'm just going to loop the last two forwards, and those are okay. I'm going to loop up this one here. And I am using a new camera that I've only used a couple of times before. Though to be honest, before today I hadn't used it at all, not for doing tutorials anyway. And I'm still getting used to it, so I'm just trying to make sure that as I'm doing things you can see what I'm doing. As you can see now, you can't see because I've slid all the way down to the bottom, so there we go. So this is what you should have. Sorry if you missed that. I basically just looped forward each time, just the bottom two. So I'm going to take these two bands here that we put on first of all, take my hook in through this pin here, this centre top pin, push back all of the bands, find those two bottom bands and place both ends on my hook, like so. Okay. And then taking the first two over the end of the hook, so you still have two on your hook, and I'm tightening it. Once that's secure, you can remove your gingerbread person from your loom. I do think he's really quite sweet, little gingerbread man. Okay. So you will have a slightly screwed up, slightly curvy, as you can see, gingerbread man. First thing you'll need to do is just make sure that these two tying off bands are tight. Because if they come loose, then it's all going to unravel and you'll have a terrible mess. And just stretch out all the arms and legs, the head and everything. Make sure that you can see the eyes and the buttons, make sure they're all pushed through. Something's gone on with my eyes. I think some of the loops have slid across, so I'm just going to sort that out. There we go, there's one. And there's the other one. Just adjusting the buttons. Make sure they've come through. Okay, so there's your basic sort of gingerbread man. As with this one, I will show you how to make the bow to put around his neck because I think it looks quite cute. It makes him look a little bit more Christmassy. So, to make the bow, you want to take your loom again. This is really easy to do, so don't worry. And I think I will do a green bow this time. I'm going to do reverse of what I did on this one. So if you, obviously you can see here, it's a red bow and I've done like a green tying off bit there. So I'm going to do a green bow with a red tying off bit. So just take on a single band, just place it vertically on your loom. Doesn't matter too much where. Taking a single colour of the colour that you want the loops to be. This is the colour that's going to tie it off. And you want to stretch your band and twist it in the middle so it makes like a figure of 8. So you want this sort of shape, if you can, don't know if you can see. Possibly dark green was the wrong colour on camera. There we go. Taking your hook, you take your tying off band here and loop it onto itself. I'm going to do that again because my loom was too low and you couldn't see what I did. So, there we go. As I say, I'm getting used to the camera. So, you're looping it forward like so, and then on this pin, you're taking here, the bottom band, and you're just taking it up and over the pin and letting go. You can then take this loop on your hook and tug, making a slip knot, and then you can remove this and you get a little bow like that. Then taking your gingerbread man, all we're going to do is place it like a bow tie around his neck. So you're just wrapping it around like you would like a hairband. Like so. And there we have our gingerbread man. Sure. If you wanted to do a gingerbread lady, you could probably put the bow up in her hair, or on her head I should say. You could leave the bow off completely if you wish. But this is my little take on a gingerbread man. So I hope you've enjoyed making him, or her. There we go. Please hit like, comment, let me know what you think of this if I can get my words out, of this design and of the tutorial. And let me know what you think of the camera as well, if you think it's better than my previous tutorials, which I think camera wise they weren't as good as they could be, but you have to work with what you have. So there we go. Please subscribe to be notified when I bring out new tutorials, and I do have other Christmas sort of themed tutorials on my channel, so take a look at those. Sorry, I keep faffing with these. I am on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, come to that, and the details for all of those will be in the box below. So there we go, little gingerbread man. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you like how your little gingerbread person has turned out and you've enjoyed making it. and I'll see you next time. Bye.